Hello everyone and welcome to Racing League Hub. This is the F2 tier of all the proceedings tonight. The circuit pool card, aka the French Grand Prix circuit, located only around, I don't know, it's less than 200 kilometers away from Monaco. It's Le Castellet. It's really not that far from Monaco. So this and Monaco, they're basically in the same place, same conditions on track. If the weather does look good into the race. I haven't heard anything from any drivers so far on a wet race, so we're hoping for dry, as we can definitely say on a wet race is a very hard track for overtaking, because there's only a few places where you can really overtake down this Mistral straight that we're seeing right now, and maybe into turn 1 and turn 2, but even through there, due to the fast entries and exits into the corners, due to this being a practice track, like a testing track, you don't see many overtakes. It's more procession, especially through the third sector here as we're coming up. You're not seeing many side-by-side battles. Maybe a sneaky dive bomb, but nothing of certain strength, let's just say. So who's going to be the first person, I believe, to start up? It's going to be Veenstra. So we'll ride on board with Veenstra. I don't really have corner names up, so we'll just say lefts and rights as we come up to line to start Veenstra's lap then. Here we go. Coming down into turn number 1 as he crosses the line to start his lap. We'll put some telemetry on and also some lap data. Breaking down now into turn number 1. He goes a bit wide through turn 1 and he may have to compensate through that through turn number 2. Turn number 2, you don't want to be too scared on the exit speeds, because you can take a lot of speed through there. Run wide and you are going to get invalidated. Now through the next few corners onto the Mistral straight, we now coming on. Be riding the curve preferably, but Veenstra's taking a different course to that corner, but obviously he's on those hard compound tyres. With those hard compound tyres, you won't get as much grip as you would say on the softs or mediums, as everyone will know. Now breaking down into the next few corners, it looks like Veenstra's already backed off this lap as he's in 0 EOS already, but we'll take you around the lap though. It may not be the quickest lap in the world, but I think he's just getting used to the track conditions, just getting some laps in. As we now see, I believe that's Monkey Meg behind, a new person to the league, so we'll actually ride on board with the Monkey. I'm just going to call him Monkey, not Meg. So Monkey coming around towards the final sector now. I'm not sure he or she because of the name. I'm just going to say Monkey coming through. They're on the soft compound tyres, so they have the most grip through this section. This section where the back end does step out quite a lot. Now coming down into the final corner, carrying as much speed as possible. Prince Killer actually sets the first lap at 32.4. Monkey Meg will set a 32.3, setting the fastest lap time of the session so far. And Veenstra sets a 38.4. And Goldie separates Prince and Veenstra with a 32.7. Rhinable is short. I believe he's just finishing a lap. Yes, he is. A 32.6 at the moment for him. So looks like Capitano is also on a lap. So we'll just finish these first few laps. A very nice helmet design from Capitano here. Almost looks like he's got some fire on him, and it needs to be extinguished. But I don't know. Coming through the final corner now for Capitano. And what lap time will this be? We know he's always quite quick in quali as he goes up into P3. At the moment, top 5 separated by 0.4 of a second. Shows how close the F2 grid is at the moment, with the newbie of Monkey Meg out of these first top 6 setting the fast lap time. Mortimer, he was on pole last week. He got the win last week, so we know he's got some paces. Fireshot Ryan, another person who is a newbie to F2, has just gone and set the fastest lap time so far. Walshaber up to line. He's going to go into P3. I need to check the tyres though. So Fireshot Ryan has just been beaten once again by Panther Rose this time, as she tries to beat her last outing where she got a DNF, I do believe. But Fireshot Ryan on the medium compound tyres, it's a 31.9. So what this is saying to the likes of Panther Rose and Fireshot Ryan, and maybe even Monkey Meg as well, those three on a softer compound tyre, showing maybe they're going to be going from maybe a soft to hard strategy. It is viable because we saw it last night in F1 with Midnight, who finished, I believe, 5th in the end after everything. So So it is a viable strategy, but you're going to be slower near the end of the race and near the end of that first stint. So it's a risk that many are already choosing to pay, as Panther Rose at the moment with the fastest lap time. Skyzy, meanwhile, has got the slowest lap time, as Invisible goes in between them. Lord Elephant on an outlap just behind Skyzy. Looks like maybe a bit of a tow maybe happening, as we see the likes of Black Mamba on a fast lap. The last person on the track who's actually on a fast lap that I can see at the moment. I have a feeling that many will do the thing where you just keep going around the track, just getting used to the track conditions, as you've got a yellow in sector 3, most probably either Lord or someone on that nature, just getting ready for their fast lap. So riding on board now with Black Mamba, he's using EOS mode number 3, so he's got a lot of EOS to burn in this final sector. It looks like he's sporting a black helmet design. I'm not really too sure about that, but coming through this long right-hander, coming down into the final sector now. Late gear shift through here as he goes down into gear 2 for the best turn-in, as I believe I've just seen Prince Killer go up to third there with a 32.064. Prince Killer beating everyone else in those hards by 0.4 of a second, trying to show that pace which he lost at the end of last season, but now bringing back at the start of this season. So Black Mamba up to 10th at the moment with a 32.9, as I just saw another person with a promoted time. I believe that was Goldie, yeah, 32.3. So he is improving as well. Riding board now with Lord Elephant, the Ferrari driver. He's definitely taking a different approach into this last sector. He literally doesn't have enough EOS left for this last sector. It's a very thirsty last sector as well, obviously from going from low speed to high speed quite quickly, especially through a corner like this. As you can see, he's probably only got, I know, about 10% of his EOS left, and he's not going to be able to use it down the main straight. So look at that, he's out of it. He is completely out of his EOS now, as he loses the back end a tiny bit there, running a bit wide through the final corner and up to the line now. He's got no EOS left. What can Lord do? Skyzy! Wow, what a time from Skyzy as Lord Elephant goes to P8. Skyzy has just set a 31.7 on the hards. You know what? I'm now going to have to check. I now need to check what the time was for a certain F1. Because at the that is a very, very quick time from Skyzy. They're beating Prince by 0.4 of a second. And that looks like a bit of a toe, but Lord Elephant's not saying anything, almost saying thank you, but he doesn't really need it, as he's had a bit of a weaving moment through there. So I'm just going to try and load up the F1 stream from yesterday and have a look at the fastest time. Breaking now down into the next few corners. And then right, view the final sector, not corner. So I'm just typing stuff in chat, guys. So so Mr. Skyzy beating Panther Rose on the hards with a lap on the softs from Panther Rose. Panther Rose out again on those soft compound tyres. We're getting a few more viewers now. Welcome everyone to the stream. Hopefully we'll get quite a few viewers on the stream, but obviously people just coming in now. We're just reaching that 7 o'clock time, so expect a few more viewers at the end of this. So surprises so far is Skyzy, obviously a 31.7. that is honestly ridiculous. Panther Rose only 100th of a second off. 100th. Let me just say that again. 100th of a second off. That's how much separates these F2 drivers. But yes, as a certain Mr. Skyzy has said, that was a very sexy lap. Something that I believe Lewis Hamilton said at one point. I believe it was Bahrain or something. But anyway, Panther Rose is now starting her lap then, coming through the first sector now. So I still haven't checked what the pole time was. A certain F1. Well, not the pole time, P2 I do believe. But so at the moment, the pack from, let's say, 4th down to 13th is separated by 0.6 of a second. A very good margin at the moment. I need to have a look at this though. Question is, what was my lap yesterday? That'll be interesting. What was my lap? Because I know it was good, but I don't think it was that amazing compared to Skyzy's. So on the hards in the middle of the session, I set a 31.6. Rafa set a 31.1. But Skyzy, F1 pace much. But let's have a look at Panther Rose as she challenges now. As she challenges Skyzy now for that that pole position so far. So up round the final corner, Panther Rose, she'll be wanting to get pole, and she has by 0.4 of a second. She's pushed that lap and got a 31.2 for that. So what was the pole time yesterday? Pole time yesterday. Let me have a little look, shall we? As looks like people are just going around, and it looks like Goldie is already on those mediums, 3 temps up. So 5 minutes in, and 5 minutes left, excuse me, and people are already going on those mediums. As mediums time of 30.5 was my mediums time yesterday. So I expect probably maybe low 31 for these guys would be a good lap time. As I'd expect them to definitely improve by around a second, as the grip between the two tyres is immense now. So spare, yeah, that was sexy. I love the hards, spanking chips, oi oi Savaloy. Right, but anyway, how you guys doing? Skyzy, obviously you're loving those hards. As Goldie apparently is 6 seconds down, so I don't think he's going to be improving on this lap. As yes, he does have 100% of his ERS. So people now on those medium compound tyres. What can Walshabert do? Walshabert obviously getting a 31.5 on those mediums. So that was a new set of mediums. So I expect him coming into the pits now. Maybe going onto those soft compound tyres though. That could be something. Spank my chips. I'd rather not spank your chips. Those are for you and you only, not for me. Goldie now coming up to set a lap then on these mediums. He's probably looked at the stream yesterday and saw that I was on a medium to hard and came second. So was Rafa, in fairness. So let's see what Goldie can do now. Oh my god, Boomer could join comms. Oh my god. Goldie coming through the first few corners then. But Boomer, you're going to have to get an invite from someone. So I may have to ask someone in the chat to give you an invite. But Goldie RGG now coming through towards the middle sector, towards the Mistral straight is the McLaren driver. Only a bit of the time up. I believe it's about a 10th up on his lap time. Then coming down the Mistral straight, reaching speeds of 200 and what are we going to say down here? 209 miles an hour. Short purple middle sector apparently. Thank you very much. Up to line. Short gets second. Thank you for that. What a lap time, Mr. Short's brother. Obviously having a look from the sofa or some kind of thing, but Short goes on top at the moment. Let's have a look at Goldie once again though. That is spotting to the max. It looks like Goldie has had a bit of a mishap. His Nicker is putting on the pace at the moment, as people are now really starting to do their laps with 2 minutes 55 left in the session. We see a lot of outlaps at the moment, as Nicker not happy with his lap so far. Goldie almost like he's warming up his tyres, getting ready for another lap then, as looks like everyone is on an outlap, as Capitano is on a lap at the moment, and so he'll be pushing as he runs wide, and that may be an invalidation. Let's have a look. Yeah, as you can see, a few invalidations already. It looks like Capitano may have already invalidated his lap time. He's got enough time though for another go, as we see a lot of weaving down a lot of straights. So let's run on board with the like of Black Mamba then. He is just ahead of a certain Goldie RGG. Goldie on a lap, so is Black Mamba. So these two are in a little bit of a train here. So Goldie will be, I'm saying annoyed, but he's going to get an absolute tow here. So he's up by just over 200ths of a second through the first sector. But the tow he's about to receive, he's going to say, what can I say except you're welcome, Black Mamba. So it was 209 last time around. It's now 213 miles an hour. So he's gained 4 miles an hour through there alone. If he gets a better exit than Black Mamba, he could have a better run down this back straight as well. So Goldie, it's not over for him. He could get a very good lap time. So a 32.3, a good lap so far from him. As look at that, Black Mamba gets out of the way. So I don't know if that was planned. If that was planned, that was a bit of maybe an admin preference. Maybe Black Mamba, you're not going to be a lobby host anymore unless you give me a tow. If it is, then Goldie has worked that out perfectly through the final few corners for Goldie, as we've seen Prince Killer ahead, about to start his lap. What can Goldie do? As everyone is now starting their last laps of this. So Goldie up to line. It's an improvement, but by how much of an improvement is it? He goes up to P3. That is the tow for you, everyone. A 31.4, closing right next to short, actually. But now it's all the time to see these mediums runners in action now. So now Skyzy is on a lap. Skyzy's on those mediums, and we are about to see pole. I can safely say that. He's set at 31.7 on the hards. What can he do on the mediums? It's got to be some kind of improvement. Up to line for Skyzy, and he goes pole by 5/10 of a second. 5/10. Get this guy up to F1. He's the Foxy dude of last season. This is the Foxy dude performance. Monkey Meg up to line on the softs. Will he be able to do anything to maybe beat Skyzy? No, he won't at the moment. He's got one more time, one more lap to do. As Nika has spun it, Nika will not be improving on his lap time. We now need to have a look at people in that last sector. So who is in that last sector of things? So Skyzy is on a cooldown lap. Goldie won't be improving. Walshabert's on a lap at the moment. He's on the soft command tire, so he's looking for pole here. He's looking for that pole. Monkey Meg is on a lap as well. Prince Killer, where is he? He's coming through the final sector now. This is going to be something to watch round the final few corners. Lord Elephant got 10th on the way. Up to line for Prince Killer. We know he's done well in the past around on the circuits, and he's gone up to P3. A great lap from him, the second on the mediums. He's trying to beat Skyzy, but Skyzy's a bit like the Rafa of F2 at the moment, a bit like the Foxy dude of last season. But we need to have a look at the likes of, who should we look at? Anyone in the final sector? Invisible coming through the final sector, so it's Veenstra coming out the final corner. It's not been the most confident of sessions so far for him. Can Veenstra mount up something? He goes up into P10, knocking a certain Lord Elephant outside of that top 10. Happy at the moment, 16th. He hasn't set a lap yet. We still need to have a look at the likes of Walshabert. He is quick around here, we know it. Monkey Meg, what can they do around here? What can the Monkey do? What can Invisible do up to light? He goes up to P8. So Renault 7th and 8th for the moment. Pretty realistic. As I saw someone jump up there. Was that? No, who was that? That was Walshabert? No, I'm not sure who that was. But someone's jumped up to line now for Walshabert. And he's going to back off. He wasn't happy with that lap. And so he's backed off so he can start on the medium compound tyres then. So, that is the end of your qualifying session. As I've got intel that Short did not have enough for another lap. So, Capitano 8th. And all that stuff. So there is your grid. Appy did not actually set our lap time. Oh my god. What the heck has happened there? That's like what happened in Malaysia with Stroll and Vettel, but this is qualifying, not the race. So I have no clue. So then, there is your qualifying order. Skyzy takes pole position with a 30.7, a ridiculous time. 2/10 off what F1 can do. I think he just needs to be promoted. P2 is Panther Rose, P3 Prince Killer, P4 Short, P5 Goldie, P6 Walshabert, P7 Wesley, P8 Capitano, P9 Invisible, P10 Fire Short Ryan, P11 Monkey May, P12 Veenstra, P13 Lord Elephant, P14 Nika, P15 Black Mamba, and 16 is Appy not setting a lap time. So now all the drivers getting ready with their setups, with everything else. Getting ready with their strategies. Strategies around here, you can do soft hard. Strategy around here, you can do soft medium, but no, not soft medium, sorry, medium hard. But I don't know. Who knows at this point? So everyone now getting ready. For the formation lap. So everyone now on the formation lap, as I'm just replying to a few people saying I'm going to be active for the next hours. I expect it's going to be a very fun packed race. So let's go through this grid then with the tyre choices as we now start. Oh, look at this, it's beautiful. Mediums in the top 10. Monkey Meg takes the mediums, and so does Nika outside of the top 10. Only person in the softs side of the top 10 is Panther Rose. So Panther Rose, what she needs to do is completely go and just take Skyzy off the line and just stay ahead of Skyzy. Hopefully she has a lot of fuel so you can just burn it in rich and get away from Skyzy, as the only way Panther Rose has a chance of winning here, pitting early and making sure those hards last a long time. Not sure if she is a pad or will use her, so it all depends on the tyre wear, but that is very audacious if she is on the pad. But anyway, so Appy at the back as well, starting on the softs, so he's going for a very different approach as well. So Skyzy on pole, Panther Rose in P2, third is Prince Killer. Prince Killer always a threat in quali, but race pace hasn't been his strongest thing this season so far. Not maybe due to luck and everything, but we're not sure. Short taking fourth at the moment, obviously being promoted from F3 up to F2. A very good lap time from him. Goldie, P5, he looks confident around here. Obviously you got that mega toe, so that's good. DeLuca did not get back in time, is what I'm a bit, because DeLuca said he could race, but he hasn't got back in time. So now coming up to the grid to start the French Grand Prix. And here we go then to start. Everyone now lining up on the grid for the start of the Le Castellet Circuit Grand Prix, whatever you want to call it now. Skyzy now on his grid position. Here we go then for the start of the French Grand Prix. Who have the better start? Softs versus mediums off the line. 3, 4, 5 red lights at Le Castellet. And it's lights out and away we go for the French Grand Prix. Coming down into turn number 1. It's looking like good starts for everyone, but a great start from Skyzy off the start of the grid. Obviously that pad traction's really helping him, but down through turn 1 and 2. Doesn't look like any massive crashes occurs. We see a Renault off at the back there, and everyone has kept it pretty clean. F2 known for this as we ride on board with Appy at the back of the pack. We need to just have a look at making sure everyone's clean from here. No initial contact that I can see. Everyone playing it very clean as we come through now. People going side by side up through the next few corners. Fire shot Ryan and Walshabert. Walshabert having a shocking start. What's happened to Walshabert? He's gone down 3 positions at the start. And so it looks like there's side by side action between Capitano and Wesley. Wesley, someone who I literally did not mention for the whole of that qualifying session. Capitano trying to make a move on him, but it's not working at the moment for the Renault drivers, and now going side by side. Looks like he's had a better run than Wesley out of the last corner, and now coming through towards the slingshot of the right-hander before this very long right-hander. Yeah, so it's looking like some people have had amazing starts, others have not. As Walshaber and far short right are in a real battle at the moment between the Red Bull and the Sport Pacer Racing Point Formula 1 team car. Walshaber not having a good start off the grid like me last night. I did not have a good start at all. But now coming to finish this first lap, we see who's added to the pits. Far short Ryan. I don't know what's happened to him, but Skyzy obviously taking... Oh, look at that. Lord Elephant had a little battle with Black Mamba as well. So, Lord Elephant, it's Ferrari versus Mercedes, but in the place where you would never see it in real life. As we'll now go up to the front of the grid. Vinicius looks like he had a worse exit out of turn 1, actually. So, we'll ride maybe on board with Invisible, as he looks like he could be on the run to maybe try and get up towards Vinicius, but that's not happening at the moment. It looks like Wesley may have had a bit of an incident there, as he's lost a few positions, obviously losing on exit, as Capitano's been able to make up a few, as Goldie's lost a position to Capitano as well there. So now it looks like Wesley's trying to make a move on a certain Goldie, but is it going to happen down into the next few corners? We can see Walshaber pulling out as well, but that's not going to happen. You've got to be daring to take a move onto the Mistral straight, but already after... Oh, as Wesley picked up a 3-second penalty already. Skyzy's got over a second lead on Panther Rose behind on the soft, and then another 6/10 gap to short in behind, then Prince Killer, then Capitano a further 2 seconds behind. But it looks like Wesley and Goldie are in a mad battle at the moment. Goldie losing positions and Wesley gaining them. Down the inside, Wesley goes into that long right-hander, and he's got that move completed as Walshaber and Nickers shot up the inside, completely misses braking zone, and has had to slot back into P9 as Walshaber may have got the frightening of his life there. So everyone now coming through towards the last few corners. Oh, that's massive contact. Black Mamba and Lord Elephant once again. Oh, the driver of the... it's not looking good for Lord Elephant. The Dodge driver, the Ferrari driver, having contact with Black Mamba. Black Mamba obviously cannot come into those pits. Obviously, if the pit lane was the same as last year, he would have, but now he's got to suffer a lap with no right end of his front wing, as he's gone right into the back of Lord Elephant. The stewards will definitely be having a look at that, as that has compromised Lord Elephant indefinitely, as they're now coming through towards the Mistral straight once again. Now this time they have DRS, so this is the time where Panther Rose and Shaw really need to capitalise to close up to Skyzy. They don't need to battle. He needs to stay on that racing line, close up, as Veenstra and Monkey Meg are in battles. The debutant and Monkey Meg trying to go around the outside of Veenstra. It's going to be close. Got the inside for the next corner. It's hards versus mediums. And at the moment, Veenstra's got it with a very, very wide use of that chicane there, going off the track there. And now coming into the long right hand. It looks like Monkey Meg has lost all grip through that right hand. And Invisible's been able to let pass, but now Monkey Meg, with better traction around the outside, has got the position, as Invisible's just had to leave some room for the driver in behind. So it's now that battle of... Oh, look at that, Nicker once again. Maybe he's very late on those brakes, is Nicker, as he tries to go down the inside now of Goldie. Looks like Goldie doesn't really have that race pace, or may have some front wing damage of some kind. I'm having a look at that front wing now. He does have front wing damage on that left-hand side. That is why. So he's probably going to have to come into the pits very early now. Braking now down into the next few corners. So Goldie, that's why his positions have gone down so much. He's lost his front wing on the left-hand side. That's going to be at least yellow damage, even orange if he's not careful about that, as that is not what the McLaren driver would have wanted. And that's on the left-hand side as well. So that's going to limit his driving to some corners rather than others, as Black Mamba at the end of that does come into the pits, and now he does go. It looks like Shaw has now got past Panther Rose down the Mistral straight, and now Shaw needs to make a real charge to catch up to Skyzy. But now it's a battle between it's like Leclerc fighting Gasly at the moment. Skyzy's just so dominant. Goldie has picked up a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting. That cannot be right. If he's got a 10-second... Oh, what is happening with Goldie? Has he just completely missed his brake? He's going to have to come into the pits at this point. as he's losing so much time. As I'd like to make a special mention for a certain Nicker, as Walshaberg goes down the inside of Goldie and sends Goldie wide. Nicker has gained 7 positions so far as Walshaberg and Goldie are into battle. I wouldn't be surprised if Goldie comes into the pits. No, he doesn't. He stays out for another few laps. He probably knows when he can probably pit, so he can go another lap and then he can pit. Lap 6 is probably the start of the pit window for the hards. The hards can go the distance, as it looks like some side-by-side action is happening in behind between the likes of Monkey Meg and Invisible being squeezed out there, not being able to overtake, as it looks like a certain DRS train is forming from Nicker all the way down to Appy, down into the next positions on Monkey Meg and Invisible side by side once again. Invisible using all those track limits, as we know that France is well known for track limits just not being a thing. As at the start of both F1 games where France has been in the game, let's just say there's been some definite things. We've got yellows in sector 2. I'm having a look. Is that Lord Elephant? That's Appy? Appy's lost it onto the Mistral straight, and that's him now down into P14 and lost out of all the drivers who have not pit yet in this race. As Walshaberg's now got past Nicker, as his DRS train is ever growing. So this is actually quite good for Goldie. So he can use the DRS to make up the time that he loses in the corners due to obviously his front wing not being there, basically. As Goldie RGG, as Invisible and Monkey Meg are still in battle, as I believe Invisible did get a 3-second time penalty. As right now it looks like Panther Rose has really dropped off the pace now, as Short and Prince Killer are trying to push up towards Skyzy. That gap has stayed forever equal, as it looks like Prince Killer is trying to make a move quite soon onto Shorts. But at the moment, I think their best bet is working together rather than trying to well, maybe just not do anything and try and go apart. So it looks like at the moment Invisible's looking for a move. Actually, I need to have a look at this. Invisible and Vinci are side by side. Yes, they are side by side. Vinci's got the better line, the racing line through the right-hander there, and has been able to keep that position there is now. As we moved away from the battle, Prince Killer has been able to get past Short. Is that maybe a little bit of a tactic? The gap has stayed the same. It's actually got a tiny bit bigger, 2.1, now down to 1.8 seconds. Either that's a Skyzy bad exit, or Prince Killer has now got the pace to maybe challenge Skyzy up ahead if he can. That would make the battles much more interesting, to say the least. Down into the next few corners, and Short just needs to stay on the back of Prince, get that DRS and he'll be back, I can tell you that. So we've got another comment on the stream. Lovely to see that 8 of you are constantly watching. Now, as I've missed a bit of battling, look at that, Panther Rose. I'm sorry for the non-commentary for this bit, but Panther Rose is losing those positions now, as she really does desperately need to pit onto maybe the hard compound tyre as soon as possible, as those positions are just going down. What's the gap to the lead for her now? It's 8 seconds. 8 seconds to the lead. That is pretty astonishing, to say the least. As Goldie is obviously losing those positions as well. He's actually stayed quite honest at the moment with this DRS train, as the DRS has just helped him so much, closing up to the back of Nicker. It looks like Nicker's pace has maybe gone off a bit, which is not good whatsoever for his chances of gaining those positions then, as Walshaberg has been able to actually get past Nicker quite long ago, actually, as Walshaberg has gained a lot of time. Short led Prince through. Yeah, Pad OP, exactly. As what I would say, Short, if you're watching your brother, work together with Prince. Don't try and separate yourself. Work together. It looks like Panther Rose is finally coming to those pit lane then. So work together with Prince. Save up your EOS as he is doing. And then use it and abuse it. So Prince Killer's EOS right now is 41. He's not really using his EOS. So what you need to say to Prince through track language is that you need to get a move on. Maybe pressure him to going a bit quicker. Because his EOS right now is on the 0. So that's the aim. Yeah, pressure him to going quicker. Save your tyres. And maybe you two can close up to Skyzy. If Skyzy does he even have a warning? He doesn't have a warning at this point. Prince has a penalty. Short has no warning. So, at the moment, Short is in a prime position for second here. So, what he needs to do is pressure Prince into closing up. Maybe using a bit more than he usually uses. His EOS is now going down quite a lot. As we've got yellow flags in sector 2. Looks like Monkey Meg could be in a bit of trouble here. Is Monkey Meg? Yes, he is. Same place as Appy is now completely out of it. Thank God his wing hasn't gone with it. So he's just lost the back end maybe. As Nika and Goldie are very close to each other. Will Nika try for a move? Oh, there's been contact between the two drivers. Monkey Meg gets a 3-second time penalty in that. As Nika is now trying to I don't know how. Going to get past Goldie. But Goldie does have that front wing still. So he can probably pit now. So Goldie now behind the lead. It's a 16 seconds. So the field spread isn't as much as I would expect. So 17th, only 16 seconds behind. As well, even with the top 3 separated by 3 seconds at the moment. These two just need to push on. They need to really push. Otherwise, well, Shaw basically just needs to say, yeah, I've got enough EOS. Let me do the talking now. As if I would say something, it'd be Short now needs to just close up to Prince Killer, get past him, and then they can work together to try and beat Skyzy, because at the moment Skyzy's just flying away. 3.3 seconds now the gap, as it looks like he's definitely done a few races. He's got a few races at the back of him, as it looks like he has been able to have a few races, maybe some practice races where he can just know when the tyres do drop off, know when to pit. But now invisible on Nika. Nika is really losing pace here. He's lost some front wing as Nika, so that's why he's lost some pace there. So Goldie I would expect to be coming in the next few laps, as this is now the start of the next pack. So Goldie, he was close to Walshaber, but now Walshaber almost on his own now. He's now where he started. So we need to check these tyres. So now the top 9 on the mediums, then behind a few people on the hards. So the pits around here lose you about 25 seconds. So Panther Rose will come out around Wesley areas. Now Vince just got past Nika. Nika needs to pit. He does need to pit. Otherwise he's got no chance of doing anything. So if I was thinking about that, I would pit. Sure, going to make the move next lap then. Oh, he's going for it. As people are now coming into those pits. Goldie comes into the pits. And now it looks like Shaw is going for this. He knows he's got so much EOS compared to Prince. Prince is saving that EOS. You don't want to be doing that. You want to be closing up the Skyzy. Now you're just... Shaw's just got to the point where he's like, right, we're going too slow through here. Out onto the misjudged straight. He just needs a good exit out of here. And Prince could have had a bad exit actually. So yes, look at this. He's in hot lap mode 5. Now I'll probably go down to 4. Yes, it will. And now Shaw, with that large rear wing, will be trying to get past Prince Killer. He's got the DRS, he's got the EOS, and he's got the slipstream down into the left hand of the Mistral chicane there. And he does go past. So Prince Killer now has to really not battle with Shaw. So that was a very cunning move by a certain Shaw there to get past. And now what he needs to do is basically push on and hope somehow Skyzy has a problem of some kind. But we know Skyzy, this is basically his practice race for a certain other league that I won't mention tomorrow, as he's had the most unluckiest luck in the world with that. So this is just his practice race, making sure the tyres don't go off. So end of lap 10, he won't be pitting at the end of this lap. Will Shaw try and do maybe an undercut? He won't do an undercut, neither will Prince in behind. Will Wesley try something maybe? No undercut opportunities looking like they will happen. Everyone going on for at least another lap, as Veenstra and Invisible are close to each other. Will any of them two pit maybe an undercut attempt? And no, they won't. As it looks like, yeah, Nicker will be coming into the pits at the end of this lap. Obviously, missing a bit of his front wing, I do believe. So, into the pits, the Mercedes driver now comes. Where will he come out in relation to Goldie, in relation to Monk? Actually, no, just in relation to Goldie, in fairness. So, out of the pits now. So, Nicker does get that new front wing. So would Goldie, though. Out of the pits. So Nicker now, that finished lad. Where is Goldie? Goldie's coming out of the final corner. Nicker still trundling down that pit lane at 37. Goldie now coming past Nicker. Nicker end of the pit lane. So it's going to be a bit of a gap between them. So Nicker can just see Goldie at the end. So it's about, I'd say about 5-6 seconds. About 4 actually. Yeah, 4.5 seconds between these two drivers now. So it'll be interesting to see if Nicker can gain on newer tyres then. So Invisible versus Veenstra. Those tyres need to go the distance for Veenstra, so he won't be looking to really get past that soon. So guys, who do you think will win this? So it looks like Skyzy may have already won this. Oh, Prince Killer! As I was about to say, a good word about him. Has lost it on exit. His consistency's come to the end. As will this be a pit stop for him? No, he won't. He won't pop into the pits at the end of lap 11. So coming on to lap 12 now. These guys are not pitting, but I expect maybe, yes. So Capitano comes into the pits at the end of lap 11, then onto the lap 12. Walshaberg doesn't pit, neither does Invisible. Let's have a look if, no one else will pit. So Capitano will be the lone pitter here, as I don't believe he had to change any front wing of any kind. So it'll be interesting to see where he comes out in relation to, say, let's say Panther Rose actually. They'll be probably coming out at the same point. So now, coming out of the pit lane, Panther Rose versus Capitano. It's going to be close actually. Panther Rose coming down now. This is going to be close. It looks like Capitano's just got this. So Panther Rose, her soft to hard strategy hasn't really worked out, but I think her goal mainly is to get some points on the board rather than those high points. She needs to make sure she gets some points, as she didn't get some on her debut. Make sure she establishes herself as a good driver in RLH. One that will always score points, one that you always need to look out for. As we're now coming through towards the mistrial straight for another time, as Goldie's picked up a 3-second time penalty. Not the best news for the McLaren drive, down in 13th at the moment, behind the likes of Black Mamba and Fireshot Ryan, and also Panther Rose. So Fireshot Ryan will most likely have to pit again. Yes, he will. So will Black Mamba. Black Mamba on the 2-stop, both of them on those 2-stop. So they'll probably be demoted down to the back of the grid by the end of this race. And so Mr. Skyzy now comes into the pits. Well, Shaw stays out for another lap. He's going for this overcut. He still believes he has pace on these tyres. Let's have a look at his last lap then. Is the pace dropping off for him? So his last lap was a 36.2, 36.1, 35.6. That was with the DRS, I do believe. So it's around that 36.2 margin. 35.4 for Skyzy. So there's definitely a drop off of pace, but I think this is more, Shaw believes that his mediums will be faster than his hards than anything else right now. So Skyzy only 17 seconds behind. So Veenstra may actually look for maybe a move on Skyzy, but it looks like Skyzy on grippier tyres is able to get away. This would be a real predicament for Skyzy if it was the other way around, but he's just put himself into an absolute gap at the moment, so he must be absolutely chuffed about that. As it looks like Capitano now on one lap old tyres, not being able to get out past Wesley, as Panther Rose now in behind them, looking for some good points today. We know those tyres can go, as we saw last night, but how far will they go? As Veenstra, I think, yeah, so Veenstra's just pushing on those hards, using all his EOS, trying to benefit from the toe of a certain Skyzy ahead, the certain Ferrari, the Ferrari with amazing straight line speed. Obviously these cars are equal, but I like to imagine that, say, the Ferrari has a very good straight line speed compared to, say, what's this for the worst straight line speed in the grid? Probably a, I don't think it's even Williams with the worst. I think it's like Renault. I'm not sure, but now Shaw comes into the pits. So comes onto a set of hards, and those will go to the end of the race then. So we need to have a look at Prince Killer. I don't think this is really a battle for Skyzy. So Short is still ending that pit lane. So where's Prince? So this is going to be a very close one actually. We're just going to flick between the two drivers. So it looks like Short has actually got a bit of an overcut now on Prince. So Prince Killer's attempt maybe of an undercut hasn't really worked out. His Short's tyres have been able to last the distance and able to actually undercut him. So now the gap is 7/10 of a second. So Short, obviously with newer, colder tyres, will lose in this first bit. Near the end of the race, maybe we'll be able to benefit with those one lap younger tyres than the car behind. Someone who has been doing well, but sadly will have to come into the pits, will be Lord Elephant, he's run very wide. He's completely run wide there. As I wonder where he will finish, because obviously he had that little touch with a certain Black Mamba. So he's just almost let. Oh wow, he's got family damage as well as Lord Elephant, so that's not good for him. He could potentially pit at the end of this lap to limit the damage. So about a 20, I believe it was 17, about 23 seconds you lose. So Lord Elephant will be right at the back there then. So that's 23, 30, yeah, it'll be around Nicker. It won't be promising for Lord Elephant for getting points around the French track there. As it looks like now, it looks like Capitano may be looking for a move on Lord Elephant as well then. So how many viewers have we got on stream at the moment? We've got somehow 9 viewers still. So thank you very much for everyone watching then. So Lord Elephant yet to pit. Neither is Veenstra. So where will Veenstra come out in all this? 23-second pit stop. So 26. He'll come out near the back as well, near Goldie, but he'll be on those mediums. Remember that. He'll be on the mediums. So those tyres will be much quicker near the end of the stint then. Lord Elephant now being passed by Capitano. As a little DRS train looks like it is forming between all these drivers ahead now. So it's just a matter of fact, can we see a DRS train forming? As it's looking promising for this DRS train, as we see a lot of drivers probably within a second. As now it looks like Walshaber is looking on a move on Panther Rose ahead. So EOS levels, Panther Rose has got more EOS. Panther Rose also has DRS on Lord Elephant. So it's more Panther Rose looking for the move on Lord Elephant than Walshaber having a look on Panther Rose at the moment. As it looks like, oh, it's tight. But Panther Rose is having to stay in behind the Ferrari ahead of him. Ahead of her, excuse me. And Panther Rose is now looking round the outside, maybe. That would be audacious. Go around the outside. No, that's not going to be a move. And Panther Rose has lost it. And that is out for Panther Rose. She's not been able to save that. When she needed a good result, it's not come to her. She's the first DNF of the session, 15 laps in. No safety car, doesn't look like at the moment. Perfect for Skyzy, but Panther Rose, first retirement of the season. Tried an audacious move, didn't pull off, and that is the end of Panther Rose for this race. And no VSC, no nothing. So that would have been perfect for Lord if there was a VSC, but none of the kind. So I want to welcome everyone to the stream as we enter the last few custom stages of this race. Lord Elephant now into the pits to fit on the medium compound tyres, which will go to the end of the race. But he's also got a front wing change as well. So where's Nicker? So looks like he'll come out. Yeah, it's not looking promising for Lord Elephant whatsoever. You just need to have a look at Veenstra though. So Veenstra, he'll be coming out probably Goldie position. So Goldie and Veenstra will be looking for the battlings of the end of the points, as Panther Rose has left the session, obviously not happy with herself. As coming down to the next few corners we go. Veenstra 5 seconds now behind Skyzy, 7 seconds Skyzy has to the legitimate car behind us. It's like Prince is looking for it. He is looking for it, and Prince does have a tiny bit more EOS than the lad ahead of him, saving it through the last sector. So is Short. Short's not using saving it as much as Prince was. So now Skyzy setting another. How's he done that then? So a 34.6, a very good lap time. Yeah, and he doesn't have a toe either. Obviously, I remember saying a 33.8 with a toe. As welcome to the 11 people watching. But that's a very impressive lap time for someone even without a toe. So Skies is showing some immense paces. We're now looking at everything else. Is where are these viewers coming from? I would like to thank everyone who is watching the stream here as we come to the end of this Grand Prix. 10 laps to go, so we're just over halfway now. Well, a bit over halfway, just a bit. But anyway, 10 laps to go in this race. Looks like Veenstra is completely out of the OS here, and looks like Short tried for me, but Veenstra is defending it. I wouldn't expect someone who's not even pit yet to be defending so hard, and now he's going to release Short, and Prince Killer will have to wait in behind. He's not losing too much time, actually, to be fair. It's only about 5/10 out of the gap, so he's not really lost too much, as Veenstra, I expect, will be pitting at the end of this lap for the mediums, and if not, Veenstra will be going on to the softs. But it's not looking good for Veenstra getting any very good points at the moment, maybe even any points for him. So he'll be coming out Goldie range, maybe even Nicker range. We're not sure at this moment. So it's all about waiting and waiting for Veenstra. It looks like maybe going and putting on the softs instead of the mediums. So that would be interesting to see how much he can come up the grid. Obviously, he's around 2 seconds a lap. So we just need to have a look, basically. I don't think there's anything else to say. As Veenstra now runs wide out of turn number 2. And that is not good at all. As he's probably going to be picking up some kind of warning through there. As he's looking like this could be not even a point for him at this moment in time. So there's a 23 seconds. 33, so yeah, he's going to be way behind Goldie, but he will be on the soft compound tyres is what I'm expecting here. So Lord Elephant has just replied to Sky's lap time, set the fast lap time of the session, as looks like Lord Elephant, even though he's not inside, he's just making sure no one else can steal his point. Even his teammate, like, he just wants it. As Lord Elephant now coming through. As looks like Monkey Meg has picked up a 3-second time penalty. Obviously, not the best debut for the Monkey. As looking up towards Appy now, almost a lap down. It's, well, not almost, 51 seconds, but not. Williams is where Williams is at the moment on the grid. But Monkey Meg did have a good qualifying. You can't say didn't have a good qualifying, but sadly, it hasn't been the race for the Monkey, as down 51 seconds after that spin on the Mistral straight for the Monkey. So now coming down into turn 1, Prince Killer is looking for the move, but I'm really surprised that he's trying to make a move with 0 ERS. So that's confusing to me, personally. Don't know why he would do that, but Short now looks like he may ask, you know what? Prince Killer, you got penalties. Do I have penalties? That's the question. He doesn't have penalties. Prince Killer has. He's closing up on 2 penalties. So you know what, Prince? Take me into the next corner. You can, let me use up my EOS here, and yeah, there you go. Prince has got that penalty. Short doesn't. You know what, Prince? I'm gonna let you through it, and there's yellows now. Looks like Nicker has maybe had a spin. Yes, he has. He's done the same thing that he did in qualifying. So Nicker now on those hards will not be happy. The Finn will be absolutely irate with himself. So we've got another comment on the stream. I'm going to have a look at that. So Nicker now, sadly now down at the back of the grid after that spin. So Monkey Meg being promoted a position now. So at the moment, everyone looks pretty separated. Looking for the closest gap right now. Closest gap is a 1.1 second between Fireshot Ryan and Black Mamba. They both probably need to pit again, but Black Mamba is extending those tyres a long 15 laps, so he's going to have to come in soon. I expect they won't go 22 laps, and if they do, jeez, fair play to him. Fair play, because that is some ordeal to stretch those tyres that long. So we'll just look at the moment on right now as let him through again. Yeah, I expected so. As points killer now almost a second now ahead as Nick has picked up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings then. So Short still on the back of points killer, so that this is the closest gap. Anyway, down into the next few corners. It looks like Nick has now left the session as he's not happy with his performance. He tried, and I don't think it worked out for him as there's yellow flag to sector 3. May have kind of, I don't know, the finished spirits of oh no, I don't like this, so I'm going to come into the pits and retire from the session. That is my worst accent ever. So now there's more yellow to sector 3. No, yellow to sector 1 now. It may have been released from the pit, so that's probably why. As now Veenstra, oh look at this, Veenstra now coming into the pits as there's a VSC. There is a VSC. Perfect for Black Mamba, perfect for Veenstra. Veenstra may have absolutely called this perfectly. Oh my god, hang on. So with this VSC, it's played perfectly into Veenstra's hands here. So he's going to come out of the pits. So Goldie's pit as well. He's going for fastest lap here. He's stealing it. And so it's now back to green conditions. Veenstra could get something pretty good from this now. So it's a 3-second gap to Invisible and then 5 short Ryan. So he could potentially get P7 here. But it depends on penalties and all that kind of stuff as well. Let's have a look at Veenstra's penalties. So let's have a look now. Sorry for that, as I'm just trying to do some other stuff as well. Veenstra has got just the 1 penalty, so this could be good for him. As now gaps are they're stabilising at the moment. Actually, never mind, I didn't see out the top. Shaw and Prince are in battle as the gap is 0.5 of a second, but this is going to be DRS, I guarantee, so there won't be a move. I guarantee there won't be a move here as Black Mamba and Black Mamba's got a 3-second time penalty without infecting anyone. Maybe Lord to the points. But obviously he's on the mediums compared to others soft. So Lord could actually get a point here. As Short's picked up a penalty. Is that going to be vital? Short now needs to get past him. This has gone all tails up now. Short has picked up that penalty. So now, this is not good at all for Short. So Short now needs to get past Prince for that P2 as Black Mamba and Lord Elephant. Oh, look at that. Lord Elephant and Black Mamba in an absolute battle right now, side by side. As usual, it heats up towards the end. Prince Killer now has got a penalty. So Prince has got that penalty. So now it's back in Short's hands. As I guarantee that'll be information that the older Short, the one who does only GT3 now because he can't remember to do F1, will be relaying on to his little brother. So now Short doesn't need to fret. As now Black Mamba as well getting past. So what's been said on stream then? I guarantee it's Short. Does Wesley have a pen? Let's have a look then. I'm giving you information. Wesley has a penalty. He has that 1 penalty. So at the moment, Short versus Prince Killer. Obviously, we'll forget the penalty, but Short can stay behind. There's more yellow flags now. Sector 3 now this time, as it looks like Lord, no! It was all going so well for the Ferrari driver, about to get some points. And it's all just gone tails up for the Ferrari driver. Meanwhile, the other one's 10 seconds ahead. Like, does this guy need to get moved up to F1? Probably. So short at the moment, coming through. Pink helmet. I don't know if that's Antoine Hubert or not, or that's just his design. Not too sure, but it looks like he now going for the move on Prince Killer. Down into the mid-round chicane he now goes. And oh, they're still side by side. Prince Killer somehow being able to keep that position. Great defense from Prince Killer there. And now they're still battling neck and tail. So now Walsberg and Capitano now in the battle. Once again, the battles are heating up as we come to the end of this race. Who runs fast enough at the moment? It is Vintra in P8 with a 33.2 at the moment, gaining an extra point. So those 4 points will be added up to 5 at the end of that. So now slipstream between Goldie and Lord Edford. This is the battle outside of the points though, but it is a battle nonetheless. And Lord will have to give up that position this time around. Let's have a look at those penalties down the bottom of the grid. Goldie has got he's got that 10 second, so he's got 13 seconds I do believe, and Lord has a penalty. So I believe Goldie will be able to get that removed though. So this is a battle for position. This is a battle for position. Breaking now down into the next few corners. Is Short and Prince have exchanged positions down into turn 1. And Short has got it round the outside of turn number 1. This is why we need a replay feature in F1. I miss it by half a second. And Short is now ahead of Prince. And Prince will not be happy about that. So Short is taking the second step on the podium with only 3 laps to go in this Grand Prix. So, at the moment, the top 3 are as it stands, I do believe. But Wesley actually may steal this P3. Having the most quiet race ever. He's having Lando Norris Belgian races, basically. So, Wesley has 2 pens. That's Prince Killer. Prince Killer on 2 penalties. Wesley on the 1. He's had a very quiet race for the second half of the race. Now now all the battles are kind of separating. Just trying to have a look for some good battles. Obviously, we know about a certain Prince Killer Short battle, but that's almost kind of irrelevant at this point because Short's got penalties and well, yeah, Short's got penalty. Short doesn't have the amount of penalties that Prince has, so it's almost now. Can Wesley close up 0.8 of a second to Prince? But Wesley obviously doesn't have any DRS, so Wesley probably doesn't even know that he's got a chance of overtaking Prince here and maybe popping up a few positions up into a certain who's that? Wesley. No, never mind. Oh dear, guys. As soon as I say something, I'll bring a penalty on them. It's my karma almost. I say something and then it goes down the track. So where's Capitano on penalties wise? So Wesley has got, I believe, the 2 penalties now. Yes, he does. He has 2 penalties. Capitano is on the 1. So Capitano on 1, Wesley on 2. So Capitano, it all falls into Capitano. So it's now falling into Capitano's hand to get into P4. Now 3.6 seconds is the gap. But look at this Prince Killer, only 2/10 behind when I looked, and now Lord Edford and Goldie are battling on to lap 20. Oh, contact! Massive contact. Lord Edford's been spun once again. Oh, this has not been Lord's season, has it? Oh, he's lost it again, and I would expect a retirement maybe for Lord, or maybe a fastest lap attempt, because it's not been his few races, has it? All 3 races he's participated in, it's either been a DNF or a crash. Canada, I believe it was I don't know what it was in Canada, but I know it's just not been good. He hasn't been scoring any points. But anyway, Lord Elephant and Goldie, there's definitely going to be a steward say about that, I expect. But now, Shaw and Prince Killer only 6/10 apart. Capitano 5/10, theoretically away from Wesley, actually 6/10 now. As we're on lap 26 now, the race has actually gone quite quickly. As Prince Killer is right on the back of Shaw once again. As it's looking, the battles have now almost seemed out. It's more battle on penalties rather than anything else at the moment. I'm not sure, and I'm not going to count every penalty. I like to see towards the end if anyone does move up or down positions now. As that 10-second gap has actually gone down maybe into a 9-second bracket. As Skyzy's just like, I'm on a pad, I can move the wheel a bit less. I can be calm right now. I'm on a pad, I can just lie back and relax. I'm 10 seconds ahead. Coming on to the final lap now for Skyzy. It's all fun and games for him now. He can just lie back, relax, have a cup of tea, or in this case probably a crepe of some kind. But now Prince Killer versus Shaw. Another time, what can they do? Prince Killer down the inside of Shaw. Shaw can just back off out of this because he knows Prince Killer's got an extra penalty. But I have a feeling Shaw will want this on track as well. So the gap only 0.2 of a second, breaking now down into the next few corners now for Shaw. Going through the left-hander now. And now the right, once again, you can ride this curve a lot. And you can ride the curve on the outside I saw from last night. It's definitely a corner there you can abuse the curves for. As we come onto the back straight once again. So now, Shaw versus Prince Killer. Will there be any movement? Breaking now down into the Mistral chicane. Mistral chicane as Black Mamba's picked up a time penalty as well. That may put Goldie into things, but Goldie does have that 10-second time penalty, which could probably get removed. So now coming down into the final sector. So now coming through the final few corners now. We should probably go to this man. Dominant. Absolutely dominant. There's no wrong word to say about this performance. For basically pole to win, Mr. Skyzy wins again. It's a Foxy, Simsy danger, whatever you want to call it. It's a situation where he's just on top. Prince Killer will get third on penalties. Shaw's get P2, a new podium. Shaw coming up from P3 and gets second. It's like amazing for me. Wesley and Capitano, they will not exchange position. Lord Edford DNF's on the final lap of the race as he's crashed on the final lap. That's not what you want to see. Walshaber takes P6 where he started as 5-shot ride. 26 laps on the hards. Fair play to the lad. That's a good performance from him. Beanshaw takes P8, Invisible Knife, and the final points playing position will go to Black Mamba, then Goldie, then Monkey Meg, and Appy will finish the standings off tonight. As going down into the final few corners for Monkey Meg. Debut race, not much. No, I can't speak right now. Yeah, Monkey Meg coming through the final corner now. Not too satisfying for him. Will the places change? Yes, it will actually. As I do believe they may have changed positions. But Skyzy takes the win today. As we now run on board with Appy. But your winner today in the Ferrari, in the Scarlet Ferrari, is Mr. Skyzy. And he will take your top step on the podium as we now come to the podium. See Skyzy, that familiar French flag. He's won at his home Grand Prix now. The number 53 takes the win today. P2 today is Short, and P3 today is Prince Killer. A good podium, and Skyzy once again takes the win. Well done to everyone who could participate today. A good race to watch. Sadly, there's not as many DRS trains as was in F1, but a great race nonetheless then. So, there will be some podium interviews to attend to. So, here are your final standings then. So, Mr. Skyzy takes you in today. Pole to win conversion, basically amazing. Shaw takes P2 today. I believe it's a debut race actually. I'm not sure. Prince Colour takes P3. 4th is Wesley. 5th is Capitano. 6th is Walshaber. P7 is Fireshot Ryan on his debut. A good debut race for him. P8 was Venus. P9 was Invisible. And P10 was Black Mamba. Those are your top 10 today. And then outside of the top 10 it was Goldie, Appy and Monkey Meg. And then your DNS with Lord Elephant, Nika and Panther Rose. So there is your final order. And now we go to the podium interviews. So if anyone does have any questions, please leave them in the chat. I expect no one does though, because they never ever do. But I've invited the top 3 now to the party. Good race though. As now we can relax. And Prince Colour's now joined the party. We'll just wait for the other 2 to join. And when we will ask questions. Shorts join the party, and now we're just waiting for Skyzy as well. And then we shall start the podium interviews. Give us a minute as number 1, make sure your voice is always allowed, as we just need to wait for Skyzy, who I'll send another invite unless he joins in the next few seconds. Skyzy has joined, never mind. Skyzy has joined as well. Excuse me, I didn't see that. So top 3 have now joined. Make sure your voice is always allowed, otherwise it could be awkward pauses. But yeah, French winner winning the French Grand Prix. Is there another way to do it? It's just like almost, I know it's sad to say, but Antoine Hubert, he did it at his home circuit in F2, and Skyzy's replicated that in the Ferrari today in F1. Well, in F1, but in F2, but you get what I mean. Anyway, Skyzy, dominance. I don't think there's any word for it. Absolute dominant performance. How was that race for you?
Well, thanks. First of all, thanks. And yeah, I'm sure Antoine would have been very proud, I guess, maybe. And yeah, it wasn't an easy race. I think you maybe mute you, maybe. So I can't hear you anymore. But still, yeah, the race was very... I would say difficult at the end, at the start, sorry, because the top 4 made a huge pressure on me. So I tried to have like 2 or 3 seconds gap, and then I just practiced my tire degradation. So I tried to keep my medium as long as possible. When I pitted on lap 12, they were like only 30%, so I couldn't maybe do medium to soft, but it was a bit risky. I just wanted to win this race without making risk strategy. So yeah, yeah, the first stint was a bit slow from me for obvious reason with the tire conservation, but yeah, after that on the hards, it was very nice. I really like the hard tires, and they feel very good, and there are absolutely no drop-offs from these tires. And behind me, I think Short and Killer had a full race battle, which allowed me to escape them. So I built a big gap between me and them, sorry. And yeah, it was a good race. I'm very happy with my quality and my race, so yeah, and congratulations to the top 3.
Well, I want to say very quickly, you've basically once again mentioned all the points I want to, as you usually do, and I want to thank you for that, because then I have less questions to ask. But I've got one question.
Sorry again.
No worries, absolutely fine. One thing to ask: your qualifying lap was 2/10 off mine. And I was the fastest medium runner in F1.
So that was shit.
You weren't. Language, by the way.
Sorry. So
yeah, no worries. No. So 2/10 off an F1 driver who got second, and the guy in first was on the softs. Not trying to flex myself, but do you think you could potentially, I don't know what others may think. Obviously, we've seen a few people be promoted to F1. Do you think you can make the jump, or is it not possible? Maybe time constraint. Not possible.
No, it's not possible for me. Goldie already asked me be after Bahrain, so it's been a long time since he wants me to in F1, but I can't do the Tuesday, so
okay. But
I have already another league, and yeah.
But
that's a shame for me and for everyone here, because I'm sorry to win most of the race, but yeah, I can't do Tuesday.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm just going to say two things. So, number one, you're like the Foxy dude of last year, so I don't think anyone cares. And number two, do you think, say if you went into an F1 race, do you think you could challenge maybe for a win?
In F1?
Yeah.
I don't know. They are such a very good and fast drivers like Rafa, you, Verstappen, Marquez's, and also people that I don't really know yet. But I don't know. King David is doing good, so maybe I can maybe be in the top 5, but I can't predict anything right now. I'm just happy to stay in F2 for the moment.
Well, yeah. So well done on your win today. Obviously,
Thanks,
a win for France. Vive la Revolution! As nice well done, and thank you for joining the podium interviews. Now, second, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I may be mistaken because I have a memory of a goldfish. Debut race short for F2. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was my debut. Yeah.
Debut race in F2, and you've got P2. I don't think you can be sad about that. Obviously, I believe you did have a bit of help from your older brother, as I saw in the chat. Maybe a bit of tactics going on here between you and Prince. Obviously, trying to get up towards Skiesy. Sadly, it wasn't going to happen. But I have a feeling Shaw was having a look at the stream, making sure that you were informed with penalties and all that. So, a bit of a tactical race, I'd say, on your hand, but a very good result. Obviously, your first race in F2, and you've got a podium. You can't be sad about that, can you?
Yeah, obviously, I'm very happy with debut coming second. And, yeah, I was keeping a track of the penalties, but had him in the background saying, just giving me a bit of extra advice on what to do, because obviously I could have gone for a move on Prince going into like the last few laps, but I just thought there's no point risking it if I'm going to crash and then lose second or third.
Well, yeah, exactly. Obviously, it was much more of a DOS, let's just swap around with Prince, wasn't it, rather than anything else.
Yeah.
As I saw a very good overtake at one point. It was round the outside of turn 2. Missed it by about a fraction of a second, but I got the exit. Very good move. I'm not sure if it's defense or attack, but it looked good nonetheless. Very, very good defense or very good attack nonetheless. But yeah, very good race, showing the F2 people what you have to offer in this league. As
yeah,
I could tell you one thing, you definitely showed up your brother. As I didn't really see him on the podium. So yeah, I don't think I can say anything else. Anything you want to say?
No, I can't think of anything to say. Just very happy to come second on my debut.
Well, yeah, I don't think there's nothing else to say. Basically, it's just a great performance. It's a bit almost, if you got that first, it would almost be a bit like Max Verstappen in the way that he's been promoted and then almost he's got a very good performance on his debut in a different team, as I expect you have. So yeah, I'll leave it on that. As well done on P2, obviously repping the Union Jack.
Thank you.
Well done on that P2 then. And now coming on to P3, Prince Killer once again with an amazing qualifying. Obviously we always see you near the top of qualifying. Always on. You get up there, but then race pace sometimes is not your strongest point. Today it was quite strong. Obviously you kept with Skiesy a lot. Your EOS management was good, and looked like a good race with you and Short as well. So Prince, how was that race for you?
Yeah, there was an entertaining race. It was fun, but yeah, the time penalties. Yeah, that's why I lost, I think. And I also crashed at one point. But I
Oh
didn't hit
yeah, I
the
saw
wall.
that. I saw that.
Yeah. That was a
Was not
stupid
the
mistake.
nicest. Yeah, it looks stupid.
But overall, it was a good race. Yeah, and I'm happy with third place.
Well, yeah, something I was a bit irate about was your brother wasn't in the stream shouting you on 24/7.
No.
It's disgusting of him not to be on the stream, but it doesn't matter anyway. But yeah, it's a good result from you. More solid points on the table, 15 points. Not sure you got faster up in the end, but you had it at one point. I can tell you that.
Oh, I didn't know.
You did at one point, I can tell you that, but and then it just completely went down the drain as people just went onto the softs at the VSC with like a few laps to go. But overall, a very good performance with you, obviously with Short as well, being almost playing of trying to get out to Skyzy, but sadly it didn't pay off for you. Obviously, you being ahead most of the first in, using all your EOS and I guess fuel as well, wasn't really good on tyre wear, but you seem to stay out quite a long time on those tyres. So does Short. Like, how? Obviously, tyre deck isn't the biggest thing around here, but still.
Oh, yeah, I didn't really notice the tire wear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't really felt it.
I felt it a lot more.
Maybe
Let's
in
just
time,
say that.
in time, but
Yeah, I don't know what to say. Basically, Prince, you had a very good race. Obviously, a very good battle with Short. Repping it for the Netherlands. Basically, you're basically doing it for the Netherlands, and you've done them proud with that P3 today. Well done on that. Anything else to say?
no.
No, lovely, cool. I want to thank everyone for watching the stream. This has been Spag. That's been your podium. Thank you for everyone watching tonight. Like and subscribe to the RLH channel, and goodbye.